Good morning, good afternoon. I am Natalie Rodriguez, a professor in Chile, PhD researcher at Complutense University of Madrid. Together with Francisca Álvarez from the University of Manchester, we developed this research titled Digital Platforms for Domestic Workers in Chile, Precarization, Invisibilization, and Commodification. My English is not very good, so I will read. The context. This study focuses on Latin America, where domestic workers face class, race, and gender oppression inherited from colonial times. In Chile, domestic work has evolved within the framework which how includes the complexity of South-South migration. Recent data explain that 1 in 10 women in Chile are domestic workers, and 1 in 3 of them are migrants. This situation requires us to analyze how digital platforms reinforce or challenge these historical dynamics. In our theoretical framework, we use an intersectional and decolonial perspective to understand how domestic workers' roles have been shaped by race, class, and gender oppression. The concept of chronoproperty proposed in this study refers to the commodification of the worker's time and physical presence, showing how these platforms demand a full dedication that goes beyond work. This approach helps us examine how digital platforms can deepen labor precarization and exploitation. The main objective of this study is to analyze how 3 digital platforms in Chile organize and control domestic workers. We apply a critical discourse analysis at the micro, meso, and macro levels. Our goal is to explore how the platforms commodify and standardize workers' personal characteristics and how this practice affect their labor rights and dignity by reducing them to easily replaceable products. We use the Fairclough critical discourse analysis model focuses on textual, discursive, and sociocultural levels. We select 3 platforms in Chile that have been operating for at least 5 years and display detailed profiles of the workers. For each platform, we analyze in depth the homepage, menus, worker profiles, and section on services and guarantees. To ensure data reliability, the collected data in 2 phases. The first between June and October 2021, and the second between May and September 2023. This allowed us to observe how these platforms reinforce exploitation and precarization, treating workers as goods rather than as people with labor rights. Findings. Micro-level commodification of domestic workers. At this level, we found that platforms do not only emphasize the job skills of domestic workers, but also commodify their personal characteristics, presenting them as part of the product that clients can hear. These workers' profiles include details such as age, religion, nationality, and marital status, showing how these characteristics are treated as part of the service. For example, description like does not smoke or drink, active member of the Catholic Church, or is calm and respectful reinforce the idea of commodification where workers are easily replaceable. This phenomenon reflects a dehumanization of domestic workers and worsening inequalities related to gender, class, and race. In the second level, meso level, at the meso level, we introduce the concept of chronoproperty to describe how digital platforms exercise excessive control over the workers' time. Not only are workers expected to be available for extra hours without prior notice, but their personal lives are also scrutinized and commodified. The profiles often include details such as whether the workers are married or children, forcing them to fit the client's expectation. Additionally, these platforms offer a guarantee that allows clients to replace a worker at any time, increasing the workers' vulnerability and lack of job security. Macro level, the surf. At the macro level, we observe that these platforms reinforce gender roles and class dynamics, and in some classes, race. In some cases, race. The platforms' discourses reflects the demands of a society where professional women, mother, and workers rely on domestic help to meet their daily work and personal expectations. The dynamics reinforce the invisibility of domestic work as essential but undervalued, assigned mostly to women, and often to migrant women who face discrimination based on racial or ethnic background. This analysis shows the urgent need for an intersectional understanding of domestic work mediated by digital platforms. The results of this analysis reveal the urgent need to create regulation that protects domestic workers using digital platforms in Chile. It is essential to address the precarious nature of their work and commodification of their personal traits. Policies are needed to guarantee fair and dignified working conditions to protect these workers from exploitation and discrimination, especially considering the gender, class, and race factors that intersect in their work. Thank you very much.